Brought to you by Gamesy. Win up to rupees 5 crores every day. Download the app now.
It's the last doubleheader of IPL 2022, and first up, it's an inconsequential game because Chennai Super Kings are taking on the Gujarat Titans, and we know Gujarat have already qualified for the playoffs and Chennai are nowhere in contention. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about the budget buys first. Well, among the budget buys from CSK, I'm looking at somebody like Ruturaj Gaikwad. Yes, the batting team suffered a big collapse in the last game, yet Ruturaj Gaikwad finally found some form in the games before that. And if you're looking for an opener from CSK, both Devon Conway has been doing really well, and whenever Ruturaj Gaikwad has also been firing alongside him, they've done well. Apart from Gaikwad, I'm also looking at two bowlers, and that's Mukesh Chaudhary and Simarjeet Singh. Last time around, both of them bowled in tandem, completed their quota of 4 overs and picked up 4 wickets between them. So I think, again, because of the way Mukesh Chaudhary has been bowling, sometimes he'll bowl at the death also, and the way Simarjeet Singh has finally found form, the way he's been getting the ball to swing, I think both of them are very decent picks. Now, about the Gujarat Titans, well, I've picked Wriddhiman Saha as one of my budget picks because as a keeper, only the last game where he failed. Apart from that, he has always scored some or the other runs, 20 odd score and 250s also to go with it. So Wriddhiman Saha is a decent pick. And apart from that, Sai Kishore played his first IPL match in the last game, and well, he bowled so well, picked up a couple of wickets also. And similarly, Yash Dayal, after he was out of the side because of a niggle before, and then finally he came back into the 11 in the last game and picked up a couple of wickets. So Yash Dayal will also be there in my 11. Well, among the overseas options for CSK, we know that Devon Conway will be there. There will be Moeen Ali who will play, Dwayne Bravo, Mahesh Theekshana. So I really don't see any changes happening unless and until they want to try a few new combinations. But if they don't go with that, they're probably going to keep the same 4 overseas personnel. Gujarat, though, for me, they played Matthew Wade in the last game and dropped Lockie Ferguson. I'm not sure whether Lockie had a niggle or whether they wanted to rest him or whether he was just dropped from the side. But I think Matthew Wade, I'm not impressed by him. I'm not sure whether he keeps his place in this side. But yes, Matthew Wade played the last game. Then David Miller will be there for sure. Rashid Khan will be there for sure. They played Alzari Joseph in the last game, and even though I thought he has been more expensive than Lockie Ferguson, he kept his place in the side, and maybe, just maybe, they could look at Matthew Wade and Alzari Joseph at different combinations. Maybe keep Yash Dayal in the side and get in Lockie in place of Matthew Wade or Alzari Joseph. Try and figure out a combination accordingly, and or probably just get Sai Sudarshan in for Matthew Wade and Lockie Ferguson in for Alzari Joseph. That could also be a change in the personnel. But apart from that, Rashid Khan and David Miller, sure shot picks in that 11. Captaincy choices, I have been talking about Devon Conway, and I have to say, I've been so impressed with him. Last game was very unlucky to be given out, and with no DRS available, I think that cost CSK in a big way. And if Conway would have stayed out there, because he has been their batting mainstay in the last 3 games at least. Ever since he came back, he's been scoring runs for them. And Conway, again, for me, if you're looking at somebody from CSK, Conway could be a good choice among your captaincy picks. Gujarat Titans, last game also I told you that for me, because Rashid Khan, the way he's been batting, even though he scored 3 ducks in the tournament, he has won them games with the bat as well. And last game, he won Gujarat Titans, took them to the playoffs with that victory over the Lucknow Super Giants with his 4-wicket haul. So Rashid Khan, be it bat, be it ball, is a great pick. So in my fantasy 11, I have picked Wriddhiman Saha, there's Shubman Gill, there's Devon Conway, Ruturaj Gaikwad is there. I have picked Moeen Ali. Then I'm not sure whether to go with Hardik Pandya, Shivam Dube or even Yash Dayal. So I'm going to go with one of them according to the situation, according to the pitch report. And if I think that it's going to be, a wicket for the bowlers, I'm going to probably go with somebody like a Yash Dayal instead of Hardik Pandya or Shivam Dube. But apart from that, I've also picked Rashid Khan, Mohammad Shami is there, Sai Kishore, Dwayne Bravo, and one among Mukesh Chaudhary or Simarjeet Singh. That also I'll take a punt accordingly, probably make 2 teams and pick them differently in each side. So that was my fantasy 11 for this game. But now let's talk about another key encounter where the Lucknow Super Giants take on the Rajasthan Royals. Among the budget buys from the Lucknow Super Giants, I'm looking at 3 players, and one of them is Deepak Hooda. At number 3, he has been one of the best batsmen this season, and last game also where they suffered a batting collapse, it was him who was waging a lone battle. Even though he did not score a lot of runs, Deepak Hooda has been, the man in form for Lucknow apart from KL Rahul and Quinton de Kock. So he's a big pick. Krunal Pandya remains a big pick simply because on most occasions he's giving you 4 overs. And the fact is that he's batting at number 4 or 5, so that makes him a very good option. The biggest, in terms of my budget buys is Mohsin Khan, because the way he has come into this side, and every game he has been taking wickets, every game he has been economical. So for me, Mohsin Khan is a must pick in your budget buys from the Lucknow Super Giants. Now Rajasthan Royals. So Royals, you could be looking at somebody like a Yashasvi Jaiswal, who scored a run of ball 19 in the last game in the defeat against the Delhi Capitals, but still he was a man in form because ever since he came to the side, he's looked more assured. The first game on his return to the playing 11, he picked the man of the match award as well. So Jaiswal is one, Devdutt Padikkal is another because he scored 48 runs, finally showed a semblance of form which was missing in the games before that, but finally we thought Padikkal was finally hitting those sixes, those boundaries that we were used to when he was with the RCB. So these two are there, and then apart from that you have somebody like an R. Ashwin. Last game I was actually surprised they made him bat at number 3, but if he is going to continue in that position, he can give you so many bonus points either with the bat because he scored a 50 in the last game, or with the ball that we have seen in the previous games where he was picking a couple of wickets every now and then. So Ashwin is a choice, Prasidh Krishna is a choice, Kuldeep Sen is a choice, but it's entirely up to you whether you want to pick those bowlers. Well, among the overseas options, Lucknow Super Giants, 3 guys who I'm sure about. Quinton de Kock is going to be there, Jason Holder is going to be there, and Dushmantha Chameera is also going to be there. The only player I'm not sure about is Marcus Stoinis, because let's face it, Stoinis really hasn't done much except those 3 consecutive sixes against Shivam Mavi. In his first game in this IPL, he scored 40 odd runs but couldn't take his side to victory, and apart from that, really haven't seen anything from him. But they have continued with him, and I'm not sure whether he keeps his place in the side. Maybe they could get somebody like an Evan Lewis or even Kyle Mayers in place of Stoinis, and then everybody moves a position down. Maybe Hooda at number 4, Krunal Pandya at number 5, and so on. Now let's look at Rajasthan Royals. See, for Rajasthan Royals, I've been surprised that they've only been playing with 3 overseas options. Butler played the last game, Trent Bolt played the last game, and because there was no Shimron Hetman available, they played Rassie van der Dussen. Van der Dussen is an accumulator, but I was surprised they wanted him to finish the innings off for them, and that really didn't work out. So I'm hoping that this game at least they figure out the batting order, and maybe, just maybe, they could look at somebody like a Jimmy Neesham again, because they need an extra bowling option in that side. Because it's a very important encounter for them, because whoever wins that second and third spot, it's very crucial for both these sides to make it to the playoffs. So let's see whether Rajasthan continue with those 3 overseas personnel, or whether they decide to get in a Jimmy Neesham or a Daryl Mitchell for somebody else. Captaincy choices. I know a lot of you will be making KL Rahul your captain again. Gives you 500 to 600 runs, and even though sort of tapered off in the last 3 games, still you expect something big from the captain there. KL Rahul is a big pick. Avesh Khan, because ever since he has come into the playing 11, he's been in very good form. Picked up the player of the match award in his first game after his return to the 11, and in the last game also he bowled a fantastic spell. So maybe if you want to take a punt on a bowler, Avesh Khan can be one. Rajasthan Royals, like KL Rahul for Lucknow Super Giants, Josh Butler for Rajasthan is their batting mainstay. If he fires, they always end up getting a huge total. So Butler is a big pick in terms of captaincy choices, but you should also be looking at somebody like Yuzvendra Chahal, who among the purple cap holders is playing a race of his own alongside Vanindu Hasaranga. So maybe he'll go above Hasaranga in this game again, and that's why, because Chahal has also been among the wickets this season and remains a very good pick among your captaincy choices. So in my fantasy 11, I have picked Yashasvi Jaiswal. There's Josh Butler, KL Rahul is there, Quinton de Kock. There's Deepak Hooda, Krunal Pandya. Then I've also picked Devdutt Padikkal. There's Ravichandran Ashwin or Prasidh Krishna. I'm not too sure who I'll go with among the two of them, but maybe if it's a spinning track, if I think the pitch will tire out in the first or second innings, I think I might go in with a spinner. Otherwise, I'll pick Prasidh Krishna. Then there's Yuzvendra Chahal, there's Avesh Khan, and there's Mohsin Khan. So guys, I've made this team on the Gamesy app. Make sure you download the app through the description below, the link below in the description, because you can win up to 5 crore rupees in daily prizes. So what are you waiting for? Download the app right now. Thank you for watching.